a man who buried kill kits years in advance, chose his victims at random, and traveled across states undetected. A man who studied the FBI, robbed banks to fund his crimes, and left behind a chilling suicide note. Yet, we still don't know how many people he killed. This is the terrifying story of Israel Keyes. Born on January 7th, 1978, in Cove, Utah, Israel Keyes was the second of 10 children. His early years were cloaked in isolation. The family lived off-grid, with no running water or electricity. They moved often: Washington, Oregon, Maine. Always running, always hiding. His parents belonged to an extremist Christian identity movement, a white supremacist church. Schooling? None. Friends? Rare. Supervision? Almost non-existent. Then the signs started appearing. Keyes would hunt animals, not for food, but for pleasure. Torturing cats, skinning deer alive, breaking into neighbors' homes, stealing guns. At just 14, he told a friend he might become a serial killer. It wasn't a joke. In 1998, he joined the U.S. Army, Fort Hood, Fort Lewis, the Sinai Peninsula. He received an Army Achievement Medal. He completed Army Ranger training. To his comrades, he seemed quiet, focused, controlled. But behind that uniform was a man preparing. During his service, Keyes began studying how law enforcement tracked criminals. He stopped drinking after a DUI in 2001, but kept the mask on. After discharge, he returned to civilian life with a plan. He had a daughter in 2001 with a woman from the Marca Reservation in Washington. Later, he moved with her and a new girlfriend to Anchorage, Alaska. He started a construction business, Keyes Construction. He blended in, a hard-working contractor, a caring father. He even volunteered at school events. But by night, he was digging kill kits, hiding them across America. New York, Texas, Vermont, kits containing guns, duct tape, zip ties, and shovels. Hidden for years, waiting. Israel Keyes was not like other serial killers. He didn't stalk victims. He didn't choose based on looks, gender, or age. He chose them because they were there. Campers in remote parks, couples in quiet neighborhoods. He traveled by car using only cash. He removed cell phone batteries, never carried IDs, and memorized maps instead of using GPS. He studied the FBI. He knew what they looked for, and he made sure to leave nothing behind. The murders we know about are just the beginning. In 2011, in Vermont, he broke into the home of Bill and Lorraine Currier. He abducted them, drove them to an abandoned farmhouse, and murdered them. In 2012, he kidnapped Samantha Koenig from a coffee kiosk in Anchorage. He raped and murdered her, then froze her body. He posed her corpse to stage a fake ransom photo, making it look like she was still alive. He used her ATM card, traveling thousands of miles across the US while her father hoped. He was finally arrested in Texas, thanks to ATM surveillance and rental car footage. He confessed to at least 11 murders. He spoke of a girl he raped and let go in the late 90s. He talked about a woman he abducted in New Jersey, about bodies in lakes and woods and abandoned cellars. Before his death, he drew 12 skulls in his own blood in his jail cell, 11 for his victims, 1 for himself. Names like Julie Harris, Mary Cooper, Susanna Stoughton, they might be his, but the truth lies buried. Sometimes literally. He robbed banks to fund his killings. In 2009, a New York bank. In 2012, Texas. He traveled to Canada, Belize, Mexico. Kill kits left behind like footprints of a ghost. In custody, he played games, gave the FBI bits and pieces, told stories, then denied them. He loved control, even behind bars. In May 2012, he tried to escape, failed. In December, he succeeded in his final act of control. December 2nd, 2012, Israel Keyes slit his wrist and strangled himself with a bedsheet in his Anchorage cell. On the floor, a 4-page suicide note, not a confession, not an apology. Just eerie, poetic language about killing, about souls. His note offered no help to investigators, no answers for families, just silence. Only his family attended the funeral. And still today, many of his victims remain missing. Who was Israel Keyes? A soldier, a father, a monster, a man who lived in two worlds, who created rules for his own game, who left no signature and yet left behind terror. His crimes didn't make headlines until the end. He didn't crave fame, he craved the act. Even now, investigators believe there are kill kits still buried out there, waiting, silent, cold. Israel Keyes remains one of the most elusive serial killers in American history. A case that challenges what we think we know about evil. A man who left more questions than answers. Thank you for watching Courtroom Tapes. If you want more deep dives into the minds of criminals, the flaws in justice, and the voices lost in the shadows, don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, stay curious, stay careful, and always question the silence.